like to come up with something witty and something different, something that I don't have. I thought our guys played harder tonight than we did against Georgia Tech. I think the first thing I would do would be congratulate Pittsburgh. We knew that Ryan Murphy was a big-time shooter from three. We tried to make sure we didn't leave him. Number 11, Campagni, shooting 28% for the year. And he's 4 for 5 in the second half. He missed us tonight. So it's something that when things are going bad, a lot of things continue to go bad in some way, somehow. We've got to figure out how to stop the bleeding and start playing better. But right now, I want to make sure that my guys don't start feeling sorry for themselves. We had some chances. We turned it over 3 out of 5 possessions, and it was because Pittsburgh was more alert. We were more casual. Then we still have a chance there at the end. Garrison missed the 2 free throws, and we still had it to 4, and we missed. I think it was Jeremiah had a wide open 3 from the corner. If we missed it, we cut it to 1. But down the stretch, we couldn't make any baskets. Things were ugly. I don't know, guys. Ask me some questions. I'll see if I can answer them.
What went wrong defensively during that stretch? They had all those wide open shots.
We didn't do a good job. We on the switch, and yet again, guys shoot 28%. You don't expect him to go 4 to 5, but that's the credit to him. You got to give him credit for doing that. And then one time, it's a late clock, and I think it was Trey. Like 2 or 3 seconds on the shot clock, and he just dribbled right up and shot one from 30 feet, and it went in. I've always taught, don't let a guy just dribble right up into a shot, and you got to put some pressure on the guys at that time. But we had a couple of switches there that we didn't need to switch. It wasn't what we wanted to do. They did, and then 11 made 2 of them, I think, in a row when we got bad switches and should have been switching when we were trying to play the screen on the ball regular. First half, I think our silly fouls kept them in the game, kept it. They made 9 out of 10 free throws. I think they had 28 points, 9 of them from the free throw line. But just so many things I can pick out, so many plays I can pick out. It's not a comfortable thing trying to figure out which one I should talk about.
In those final few minutes, offensively, it seemed like guys were kind of hesitant to take a shot.
Well, they were switching the screens. We weren't as open as we wanted to be. We were dribbling the ball too much. I mean, we really were. And it's and Jeremiah's struggling, but it's he's 1 for 8 last game, 1 for 9 tonight, and he can shoot the ball, but it's asking a miracle out of him, and so played Leakey back there a little bit, and it's Leakey's 1 for 5 from 3-point line, so our point guards are 1 for 5 and 0 for 5. That's not a good percentage right there too. But if you look at Armando and Garrison's totals. Need to get the ball inside to those guys more, and we didn't do as good a job as we should have gotten the ball in there. But it was frustrating watching it. I mean, it's we've got to do a better job. I called B1 one time. Excuse me, I called B2 and they ran B1. I called B3 and they ran B1. So that part's a little frustrating, but that's my job as a coach.
Coach, after losing a couple games and some bad shooting performances, how do you keep your team's confidence throughout practice and try to boost their self-esteem?
Well, it's hard. It's human nature. I told them I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm ticked off, and all those kind of things right now. But we're going to come to practice, and we're going to try to get better, and we're going to try to do it. And I told them if you're going to give in, if you're going to go belly up just because things aren't going well, then you're not the guy that I recruited. We've got to be more competitive. Again, just a casual approach. And Garrison, just like the other day, Garrison's numbers 21 and 10, but he's standing out there, he catches the ball, and a guy comes behind him and knocks it loose. It's too much of a casual approach, but I really do believe that we could all talk about 5 or 10 or 15 plays, but right now, perhaps we're feeling a little sorry for ourselves and getting a little tight down the stretch as well. So some way we've got to figure out how to fight that part of it.
Your comments over the weekend got some attention about the potentially being the least gifted team that you've had. I'm sure that is a little bit of trying to make an honest assessment of where you're at, but did you kind of hope that would kick them off a little bit? Maybe they'd push themselves a little bit further?
No, I didn't make that for any reason other than the fact that I was telling the truth. I mean, I don't necessarily say, well, I can say not necessarily. I have never said one thing to the press to try to impress my team or try to get a message across to my team. I just say it to them, and I mean, guys, you know, we've had teams in the past that I've said before that were really more gifted. What did I come in here and say to you guys after the Elon game and the Garden Webb game? I said to you that we were more gifted than the other team, and that's the reason we won the game. I wasn't pleased with the way we played. And I said to my team, once we get into ACC play, you know, we're not going to be more gifted than the other team. And with the team that I said out there on the floor, you can look, I've got one McDonald's All-American out there because Cole's not playing. And, you know, we've had some teams that have had a lot more than that. So I stand by that. Anybody wants to make something, that's their prerogative. I mean, you know, I'm not going to be perfect, never have been perfect, don't really care to be perfect. I've made a statement that if anybody in here disagrees with it, that's your prerogative. But my guess is, if you look at it, you'd probably agree. So I'm stunned by how it gets so much attention, but you know what? I don't know it if you guys don't tell me. If he doesn't tell me, I didn't know it, because frankly, my dear, I don't read that BS. And, you know, we've lost a lot of games. We've won a couple too, but that's the most, to me, to Roy Williams, that's the most ridiculous thing to have any attention. You know, that's like me wearing lucky socks or something. Good God Almighty, you got to play the damn game.
Coach, with Cole out and not really having a guy that can consistently create and make his shot off the dribble, does anything change on offense? Do you plan things differently?
Well, we put in 2 new offenses this week. Could you tell it?
Yeah.
I couldn't, because we played just as dang bad as we did before, but we put 2 new offenses in this week, tried something different, and so far it hadn't worked.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, how were the practices after the Georgia Tech game?
I'm trying to remember, guys. The first one was good. Yesterday was good practice. Yesterday was good practice. But, you know, again, you get into that rut. You know, you've heard me say in putting and playing golf, the more you make, the more you make. Basketball, the more you miss, the more you miss. And so we've got to find a way to get out of that rut. And I've got wonderful kids. I'd like them to be tougher, bigger, stronger, faster, and yes, I'd like them to shoot better. But the bottom line is that you got to be tough enough to fight through that stuff, and we're going to keep practicing and trying to do the best we can to get better. Guys, it's not a pleasant time. Coach Smith one time told me his biggest worry about me is that give me one of those plain ones. I don't want to read your stuff. No, I will. I'll keep those up. Said his biggest worry with me is how hard I took the losses as an assistant. Says it's much harder as a head coach. And he's right. Thank you. It's my responsibility.
Players available.